Actually, morning to Canadians and good afternoon to Saudis enjoying their holiday today, and good evening to Pakistanis and Indians. I warmly welcome you all to this webinar where we will explore the practical strategies to blend our career aspirations with our personal fulfillment. I would kindly request everyone to keep their microphones muted while our presenter is speaking, and please use the chat box for any questions. As we move forward, I would like to give a brief introduction to Meridian for those who may not be familiar, though that's quietly unlikely. Jokes apart, we are an ISO 9001 certified organization approved by TVTC and Highfield, and we are also recognized by IAF and GSE. If I have to precisely describe Meridian and our objective, then it would be we guide organizations toward achieving excellence. Our range of services is quite comprehensive, comprising of consultancy, training, and certification in areas like quality management, occupational health and safety, environmental management, IT security, food safety, soft skills training, risk management, change management, HR management, and others. We also offer auditing and third-party inspection services across various sectors. Additionally, we provide professional manpower support to organizations and also play a critical role in the ongoing NEOM project. These are our few accreditations with organizations internationally and nationally. Now, I would like to turn the spotlight towards our presenter, Ms. Parveen Abdullayeva. Honestly, when I first looked at her profile, I was genuinely intrigued and excited to attend this session, as I believe her expertise and experience can compel anyone to have a one-on-one session with her, whether for our personal growth or general psychological insights. As we can see, she holds a master's degree in psychology and has an experience of 14 years in HR and talent development. She has guided countless professionals through the challenges of modern work life, and I believe her insights will help us transform our approach to career and life satisfaction. She has also attended several prestigious institutions, including Royal Road University, University of Calgary, and Baku State University. Thank you so much, Ms. Parveen, for joining us today. Over to you. I wish you all the luck.
Thank you very much, Sarba. It's my pleasure to be here and present in front of this audience. I'll share my screen, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Wonderful. I hope you can see my screen, right, Sarba?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I would like to start by appreciating this opportunity given to me by Meridian Quality Management Professionals. And before we begin, let's take a moment to preview what we have in the store. So we are about to embark on the exciting journey to master work-life integration like never before. To get started, I would love actually for you to reflect on your own experiences with this topic. So please take a moment and consider the following questions. How often do you find yourself checking work emails or taking work calls outside of regular working hours? How does this impact your personal life? What strategies do you currently use to balance the demand of your job with the needs of your personal life? Please feel free to share your thoughts in the chat so we can explore solutions together. So today we will kind of open up the concept of work-life integration. It's not just a myth or legend, it's a real and achievable. We'll uncover what this truly means, and the hint is here. It's not about juggling everything at once. That's how many of us do, and why it's crucial for our well-being. Next, things will get more interesting, and we will dive into unique challenges faced by professionals in the Middle East, in like generally Eastern culture, when seeking work-life harmony. And we'll explore how cultural nuances and business practices impact this balance. We'll discuss practical strategies and actionable tips designed to help you reclaim your time and energy, saying goodbye to burnout once and for all. And as many of you know, achieving balance is impossible without prioritizing self-care. So we'll dive into the world of well-being practices together. And our goal eventually is finding that perfect blend that leads to a happier and healthier you. So I would like to tell you a story of one of my clients named Sarah, a marketing manager. She consistently checks her work emails, responses to messages late into the night, even on weekends. And this habit has become so ingrained that she often finds herself thinking about work tasks while spending time with her family or doing personal activities. As a result, Sarah frequently misses family dinners, important events, and her child's school plays because she feels obligated to meet tight deadlines or address work-related issues. And as consequences, she had strained relationships with her family because they felt neglected. Of course, increased stress that impacted her mental health and sleep quality. Also, she noticed increased job dissatisfaction. Sarah felt unfulfilled and burned out, which affected her job performance and overall satisfaction. We'll get back to Sarah at the end of our presentation. So let's tackle the definition of work-life integration. So instead of seeing work-life as separate islands, think of it as a delicious smoothie. You're blending all the good stuff together for a result that's both nutritious and satisfying. And it's all about finding the way to make your work and personal life dance together in harmony and not fight with each other. And it's not about perfect 50-50 because it's barely achievable, but about figuring out the right blend that works for you. So key points that I would like to highlight, and we will dive into those points later on. So we are talking about first flexibility. It's a golden ticket. This means having the freedom to adjust your work schedule or location to accommodate personal needs. Maybe it's working from home one day to catch your kid's soccer game or shifting your hours of volunteering at a local charity. So what's important to remember that flexibility is the key. The second key point is prioritization. So life is full of demands, but not all of them are created equal. Prioritization is about identifying what truly matters and focusing your energy accordingly. So the art of learning to say no to non-essential and yes to things that bring your joy and fulfillment, that's something that we can call prioritization. Boundaries. Even in a blended world, right, boundaries are essential. Establishing clear limits on your work time, set expectations with colleagues and clients, and create space for you, for your personal life would be crucially important. What we say is that what we need to remember is that you can't pour from the empty cup. So the other point that we'll touch base is technology. So how we want to embrace the power of technology to facilitate work-life integration. From productivity apps, virtual communication tools, to fitness trackers, mindfulness apps, right? Just to remember to unplug and recharge every now and then. Support. You don't have to go alone. What's important is to surround yourself with a supporting network of friends, family, colleagues, who understand your goals and cheer you along the way. So please share your challenges, celebrate your successes, and lean on each other for encouragement. Good support is a game changer. As you can see, there are several cultural and economic factors at play that can make achieving balance particularly challenging. So, unfortunately, long working hours are almost the norm in many industries in the Middle East, and I should say actually across the globe. This often stems from cultural of presenteeism, where being at your desk late is valued, as well as demanding workloads and tight deadlines. It's not common for people to consistently work well beyond the standard 8-hour day. We have such a joke here in Canada that so I'm busy. So just to tell people that you are busy, right? So, but it actually doesn't do well for you. Family is incredibly important, not only in the Middle Eastern culture, but everywhere. And it brings a lot of joy and strength. So, but it also means strong expectations and obligations. So many professionals feel pressure to prioritize family needs, whether it's attending every family gathering, caring for elderly relatives, or supporting young siblings. So balancing these responsibilities with work commitments can be a really juggling act. So cultural norms around work and personal life is something that traditionally there's been a blurring of line between work and personal life in many cultures. This can translate to expectations of constantly be available, even outside of working hours, and reluctance to disconnect from work. People may hesitate to say no to work requests, fearing it will be seen as a lack of commitment. And that's the truth, especially nowadays, like in current economy. Specifically, Middle East has seen increased economic growth in recent decades, and that's created a lot of exciting opportunities. But it also means a high competitive job market and constant pressure to perform. So companies are often pushing for maximum productivity, which can lead to increased workload and longer hours for employees. This makes it harder to prioritize personal time and well-being. All right, so we have identified some of the hurdles. Now let's talk about some practical strategies we can use to create more balance in our lives. There are many approaches, but it comes down to this primary things. First, I would like to touch on time management. Effective time management isn't about packing more into your day. It's about making the most of your time you have and being intentional with it. So, for example, some of the key actions might be there is a well-known prioritization method Eisenhower matrix. So it's basically urgent and important to focus on what truly matters and delegate or eliminate the rest. You can also use technology to streamline work. So nowadays, utilizing AI, you can explore tools like project management apps, automation software, and calendar integrations to optimize your workload and reduce wasted time. The second piece is a boundary setting. So boundaries are basically like invisible fences that protect your time, energy, and well-being. So they are about setting limits and communicating them clearly to others. Think of building a strong but flexible wall. So some key actions you can take moving in this direction is establish clear work hours. So define your working hours and stick to them as much as possible. Of course, we have hiccups as well. But also communicate them like those hours to your colleagues and clients and resist the urge to check emails or take calls outside of these hours, right? Unless it's absolutely necessary. The other tip that can be useful is to communicate with family as well. So be open and honest with your family and colleagues about your needs and boundaries. Let them know when you need uninterrupted time for work and when you need to prioritize family or personal activities. Important thing, and here I'm talking as a psychologist, When you talk about your feelings, no one can refuse it. It's real. So your feelings are real. So it's not about like being straightforward, like, well, that's my hours, don't touch me and don't interrupt me, right? But explaining the reasoning would be super helpful. Implementing the strategies take effort and commitment for sure. But the rewards, less stress, more balance, and more fulfillment for fulfilling life, or that's something that well worth it. And you are not just working harder, you are working smarter and protecting your own well-being in the process. Self-care, the third point, and it isn't being selfish. It's essential to understand. It's about nurturing your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being so you can be at your best in all areas of life. In many cultures, spiritual practices are deeply ingrained, and we can leverage that as a powerful form of mindfulness. And key actions that we can take in this field, and it's known fact that exercise also reduces stress, improve mood, and boost energy level. So incorporating physical exercises or walking right into your routine would be critical. So important piece in here to do it regularly. In terms of mindfulness practices, and we'll touch this later on as well, whether it's structured prayers or simply taking a few minutes each day for personal reflection and gratitude, these spiritual practices can be a powerful way to reduce stress, find inner peace, and enhance your overall well-being. What we need to remember is self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. By taking care of yourself, your body, mind, and spirit, you'll ensure that you have the energy and resilience to handle both your work and personal responsibilities effectively. Just wanted to remind you, while you have certain questions, feel free to add them to our chat. All right, so how do we actually stick to this well-being practices, right? It's easy to say, but not that easy to do, and make lasting changes in our lives. The key is understanding the science of motivation. One of the most effective ways to help is to use what, like the acronym science forces. So it's basically the recipe, creating lasting motivation. The first letter S stands for step ladders. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Break down your goals into small, manageable steps. Want to start exercising regularly? Begin with 10 minutes a day. Gradually increasing the duration and intensity as you get more comfortable, you would need to remember that small wins build momentum and confidence. The second letter, C, stands for community. Surround yourself with supportive people who share your goals or who encourage your efforts. You can join a fitness class, find a walking body, or connect with like-minded individuals online. Having a community makes the journey more enjoyable and provides accountability. From my personal experience, I can say that we all saw the effect of COVID, right? And I always had that dream to hike, right? We have beautiful sceneries here in Alberta, Rocky Mountains, and that was my always like in the back of my mind. One day I will start doing that. So although COVID wasn't the pleasant experience that we all went through, but actually, that was a great start for me to join this wonderful group of hiking ladies who actually I'm still friends with. So that was like I feel like that's one of those exercises that changed my life quite significantly. I stands for important. Make sure the changes you are making aligned with your core values. If exercise feels like a chore, try a different activity that you genuinely enjoy. The more meaningful the change, the more likely you are stick to it. The next letter E stands for easy. Make it easy as possible. Incorporate this practice into your daily routine. Prepare healthy meals in advance, lay out your workout clothes the night before, or schedule mindfulness breaks in your calendar. Remove any barriers that might prevent you from following through. And N stands for neurohacks. Leverage mental shortcuts to reinforce positivity behaviors. So, for example, use visualization to imagine yourself achieving your goals, or practice gratitude to boost your mood and motivation. C stands for captivating rewards. Focus on meaningful rewards that reinforce your desired behavior. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage after a week of consistent exercise, or buy yourself a new book after completing a mindfulness challenge. And finally, E stands for ingrained. So consistency is the key. The more you reinforce this behavior, more they become ingrained habits. Don't get discouraged by setbacks. Just keep showing up and recommitting to your goals. What would be good to remember is lasting change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process of continuous learning, adaptation, and self-compassion. So by understanding the science of motivation and applying these science forces, you can create a life that's both balanced and fulfilling. Right. So now let's dive into the first and very important piece of the puzzle, right? Like, as I mentioned, we'll dive into mindfulness. So mindfulness is the practice of creating connection between our minds and our body. And one of the techniques is deep breathing exercise. It's a very simple tool. And in many cultures, this is something part of the daily life. And you can search online for a lot of different breathing exercises to use during, and I didn't want to bring to this presentation like particular exercises, but it's truly a lot of them you can find. So that's great. The greatest one is actually to breathe through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and then exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds. What does it do? It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and digest response. So it's really quick, it's very, very quick and easy to help your body to be grounded. And mindful meditation is something that if you prefer other meditations that work for you, perfect, just use it. You can close your eyes for 5 minutes, focus on your breath, sound, or guided meditation. This can help you to calm your mind and reduce anxiety. So what would be the benefits of it? So by doing this, you are doing two great things. You reduce the stress during chaotic days, and it improves focus. It's like hitting the reset button on your brain, so you can tackle your tasks with clarity and efficiency. And it's not about eliminating the stress or the trigger altogether, and we need to be realistic with that. So it's about managing your response to it and taking charge of it. All right. So we've talked about individual strategies, but let's be honest, no one succeeds alone. So achieving true work-life integration requires building your own personal tribe. Think of a tribe as a group of people who have your back, who lift you up, and when you're down, when you feel down, and you celebrate your successes, like they celebrate successes with you. It's all about creating a community of support that helps you navigate and throughout the challenging modern life. I would like to highlight 3 supporting groups. The first one is and foremost is our family support. And family is often our bedrock, right? Especially in Middle Eastern culture. I feel like in every single culture, they're not just blood relations, right? They are your cheerleaders. It's a safe harbor and your grounding force, basically. So nurturing those familiar bonds is crucial for balanced life. So what you can do in terms of tips, right? Like actionable tips is you can prioritize quality time with family and be present during family gatherings. Share your challenges and successes with them. Offer your support in return. Even small gestures like a phone call or shared meal can actually strengthen those ties. The second group is your professional support, right? And there are these are your basically colleagues, your mentors, or industry connections. They can offer guidance, advice, and opportunities for growth in your career. Think of them as your professional counsel. So what you can do, what kind of actions you can take in that regards is actively seek out mentors who inspire you, attend industry events to network with peers, and don't be afraid to ask for help or advice when you need. And it's actually statistically proven if you surround yourself with driven people, that's something that is very contagious. And you may also have certain like similar drive. The third point is your community support. So this includes your friends, family, and members of your local community. They provide emotional support and the sense of belonging and opportunities for connection outside of work environment. So what kind of actions you can take in that regard is to join clubs or groups that align with your interests. So, or you can volunteer in your community and making time for social activities with friends and family that helps you to nurture those relationships. So it's great that we're aware of all these challenges and know our objectives, but how we're supported technologically to do this. All right. So here comes the best part of it. That like the best part of the era where we live in, right? And all we can use like in terms of technology for balance. Please share on the chat. Can you like if you know some tools that you currently use, right? And we can explore them and help each other. So please feel free to share. So nowadays, you can experiment with tools like virtual assistants, automation software, or try like time tracking apps to find what best suits your needs. So the benefit is to create flexibility, increase productivity, and also create more room for everything else. We can focus on what's more important and enjoy it more. Remember what we said about not missing your kids' play at school? And important piece in here is also to not overdo this because it will be like going from one extreme to another extreme. And yeah, so by basically embracing technology and using it wisely, and that we are not simplifying your life, we are creating more space for things that truly matter for you. All right. So early, like at the beginning of the presentation, I told you about my client, Sarah, who was a marketing manager who struggled with many of the issues we discussed today. So, and I'm excited to tell you that Sarah has been working on creating this transformation. And I would like to share with you with some of the steps that she took and some of the outcomes. So let's break down the specific steps that she took. So first was time management mastery. So Sarah began by getting ruthlessly honest about how she was spending her time. She tracked her activities for a week and was shocked to see how much time she was wasting on unproductive tasks. Sarah began to split her big tasks into smaller tasks. The second area that she tackled was boundary, right? Boundary. So brilliant thing that field. One of the Sarah's biggest breakthrough was learning to say no to non-essential work requests. She learned to set expectations with her colleagues and clients and to protect her personal time. The third field was finding some solutions, tech solutions. So Sarah embraced technology to automate tasks, and streamline her work. So she used a project management app to stay organized and communication tool to filter and prioritize emails and messages. So she learned not to check at 1 a.m. drive time. So Sarah consciously invested in building stronger relationships with her family and friends. So she scheduled regular date nights with her husband and made it a point to attend her children's school events. And that was the most exciting for her. She said no to work-related activities on that time. Mindfulness magic, right? So Sarah started practicing mindfulness and meditation to manage stress and improve her focus. She found that even just a few minutes a day made a significant difference in her overall well-being. And one of the apps she used, it was Calm. So lessons that she learned, right? And it's very hard, but it is possible. That was her number one comment. And it requires dedication and willingness. And she said it again and again. It's hard. It's not magic. But if you commit to it, it will be amazing. So don't give up. So your work will, your world will change as you do it. And focusing on bigger picture and keep focusing on small steps was another key takeaway. And the other important lesson that she learned is that she needs to be kind to herself. Don't overwhelming herself. You are also one of the important people in your life, and you are worthy of those good habits. So congratulations, you made it to the end. So before we start discussing the questions, I'd like to summarize by saying that work-life balance integration means finding ways to manage your time while also nurturing your personal life. Important to remember that it starts by creating new routines and make sure that you remember to ask for help. As an executive coach, I'm offering 30 minutes free sessions, what we call a chemistry call, and to create a new plan and how to move forward. And how I hope I offered information that makes a meaningful difference in your lives and enhances your overall well-being and success. Right. So now we come down to our Q&A session. Please feel free to send some, text some questions to the chat, please.
All right, I do have a question, which is how can we address early signs of burnout? How we can actually identify them to avoid future complications?
For sure. So we all have a great tool, our body. So our body reacts to imbalance first. And it's great that when we realize that, but most of the time when we have a stressful situation, we try to tackle it, we try to fix it, right? But our body tells us right away if something is off. So the first thing that you need to be attentive to is your body's reaction. So it might be headaches, it might be that you have certain like stomach ache or some other like the neck. The neck is number one place where you can feel the stress. And so that would be the first thing. And then when you see dissatisfaction with what you have, right? So, oh, you are dissatisfied with, or like became angry because of whatever colleague, or so your kids may make you angry, or something else, right? Or like you become upset seeing or Sometimes we express emotions like watching a movie, right? All of a sudden we start crying, right? So it's not necessarily related to the movie, but it's about what is happening to you. So those type of instances, we need to be mindful to observe and to pay attention. And also why it's important to have your support group, like with your family, with your colleagues, and like a bigger community, right? It's because they can tell you that something is off, and are you okay? Like, where does it come from? So that would be the early signs of that there is an imbalance. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. And we have a question here from Mr.
Please.
Muhammad Yusuf. He's asking, could you recommend some strategies to help me cope with my restlessness? This typically occurs on weekends and after getting an email from my manager about a task just an hour before my day off. It ruins my entire weekend. I feel uneasy throughout my days off, which are Friday and Saturday, until the new work week begins. It happened mostly. This is what he's saying.
Yeah, so Mr. Mohammed, that's a great example of setting boundaries, right? So, the best strategy is first of all to understand that time off that you're taking is important for you and your family, right? Why it's important? Because if you allow someone, right, in this case, your boss or supervisor, right, to ruin your weekend or like time off, it's something that it means that it's you didn't set those boundaries, or like the timing that you spent before taking time off, maybe that's something that you need to look at and see like, all right, so what's going on in my like while I will be away. So planning not only your vacation time, but also while you're going to be away, who is going to do this job, right? Is something that if you can do it, excellent. But if it's like you don't have enough time, it's like the end of it. So who else can do this? So proper planning is something that maybe would be good to look at, right? And most importantly, as I said right in the beginning, so if you know that your time with your family is valuable, you will prioritize it. All right. So looking at your values and important things and prioritizing them is something that is important to do for everyone, including me. I hope I answered your question.
All right. Do we have more questions or shall we just move towards the conclusion? There's one new message. He's saying you have answered his question.
Thank you.
We don't have any other question here.
All right, fantastic. So I truly appreciate every single one of you who joined this morning in Calgary, where I am now. I would like to invite you to join my LinkedIn account if you have further questions, right? And also you can book an appointment with me using this link, parvinabdul.youcanbook.me. So if you think that there are some following up questions or maybe some other questions or topics that you would like to discuss with me. Yeah. And yeah, so that's basically how to contact Meridian.
Yes, exactly. And if you have any questions, I'm offering this to everyone who has joined. My email is sakba@meqmp.com. Other than that, I would like to thank Ms. Parveen for sharing your valuable insights with us today. Your experience have truly been enlightening for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Sagba, specifically for you, and so to generally to Meridian as well for giving me this opportunity. And I'm looking forward to some other sessions.
Yeah, we also are looking forward to it since you have a very vast experience and you're as I said, that I would like to have one-on-one conversations with you as well.
Thank you very much.
A big thank you to our audience for your participation and engagement. Somebody's saying something. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you in our future webinars and sessions. Good day. This was
Thank
all
you.
from Meridian and Ms. Parveen. We would like to now sign off. Thank you, everyone.